All right. Hello, everybody. We are back. This is episode 7. Is this our 7th episode of the podcast? I don't know. It's been a few. Today, we probably have a more discombobulated, shorter episode today, just because there's been a whole bunch of things going on behind the scenes. Will cannot join us today because he has a boatload of homework. Gavin can't join us today because he wasn't able to get to the episode in time, so he couldn't watch the episode, so we told him he can't talk about it, obviously. And then it's just the two of us going to be talking about the episode today, and I don't know about you, but I felt like this episode was good. Like, it was a good episode, but I don't know if there's a whole lot to really say about it, unless you've got a lot of stuff. It felt like natural progression for the story, but not necessarily. It didn't necessarily give us a lot more questions. It gave us a lot more answers in certain aspects, but not necessarily a lot of questions. But before we jump into Moon Knight, I kind of wanted to talk about the latest Doctor Strange trailer. So we got the Doctor Strange trailer, Dream. It was only a minute long, so it was pretty quick. But I just watched it a couple times because I've been trying to figure out, what's going to be in this movie. What's going on in this movie?
A lot of things, man.
There's so much happening because following the events of No Way Home, the whole the idea of the multiverse emerged and stuff. But you also got Doctor Strange. He closed that thing off with the spell that makes no sense and all that stuff that's riddled with plot holes. But it doesn't matter because I love that movie and I am willing to forgive it. I don't know how I don't know how the movie's going to begin, in the sense of, does Doctor Strange have recollection of helping Spider-Man? Not necessarily Peter Parker, but does he have a recollection of, helping Spider-Man specifically do something with the multiverse? So he's like, I'm going to mess around with a little bit of this stuff or whatever. Because we know from Spider-Man, he's no longer the Sorcerer Supreme. He's kind of lost a lot of his glory, essentially.
Mojo.
And it's... Yeah, and so I'm very curious to see where he starts us out with. Obviously, we know he's going to go and find Wanda, but why does he have to find Wanda? He's obviously going to do something first, and he's going to mess something up. I might be forgetting something that we saw from the trailers. I can't remember, but there's obviously been talks about what kind of cameos are we going to get in this? Because obviously it's Marvel. After No Way Home success, they're obviously we need to shove as many cameos as possible into this because they have recently acquired Fox, and all of the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and all that other fun stuff over there.
Please don't bring back the children X-Men, though. Can we just leave them alone?
The children X-Men. What do you mean by that?
They were all young adults when they tried to. They try to redo.
Oh, okay. Well, so some of those are really good. Some of those are really good.
Some of them are really good.
Some
of them are not
fantastic. Days of Future Past is one of my favorites.
Not X-Men. Sorry, hold on. I am totally off base. Not X-Men.
What are you talking about then?
The revamp of Fantastic Four revamp.
No, nobody will ever bring that up again.
X-Men. I like the new X-Men. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? Those are fantastic.
I got my wires crossed.
Well,
new Quicksilver is freaking awesome.
Yes, he's fantastic. I love Evan Peters. We say new Quicksilver. That was 8 years ago. So it's and he technically was Quicksilver before what's his name from Age of Ultron? I can't remember his name.
The guy
Taylor
that was in
something. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yes, so that guy.
He was there and then he wasn't.
Yeah. But we got to see him in WandaVision, but it was very disappointing how they did it because it didn't end up being him. It was just the actor cast as somebody else, but also as Pietro. It's confusing, and I don't really like how they did that. But kind of going back to Doctor
WandaVision.
Yes, in WandaVision. And we also, in this trailer, we get to see WandaVision stuff again, which is, I really am happy about that because I kind of have I had a fear that a lot of the TV shows that Disney Plus was putting out with, Marvel was going to have like very little impact on the surrounding MCU. Like if you look at Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier, like the show doesn't need to exist because like where the end of Endgame is, Cap gives Sam the shield. Falcon and Winter Soldier, you take that out of the circulation. The next movie with him in it, he's going to be Captain America. So a logical thinking person will be like, oh, Cap gave him the shield, now he's Captain America. You don't need to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier at all.
This whole arc, yeah.
Yeah, so I was scared that was going to be a lot of the shows. And like with WandaVision, like, okay, she goes out to this thing, she's learning, she's being more powerful now, and she's on her own now. And I was scared that they weren't really going to necessarily bring up at all what happened. And now that we see in the trailers of Doctor Strange,
and she just breaks everything.
Yeah. In the first trailer that we see her in, Doctor Strange, confronts her, and she's like, "Hey, if this is what happened in Westview or whatever," he's like, "I'm not here about that or whatever." So it's like directly connecting, and you can see her like how she's changed from that experience. And in this trailer, that's called Dream, Doctor Strange is saying he's having these dreams, and you see flashes of him marrying what's her face from the first movie? I can't even remember Rachel McAdams' character. I don't know, Katie or something. I don't know. Yeah, whatever her name is. I don't remember. But it looks like in his dream he's marrying her or something weird. Mm-hmm. And there's some stuff going on, and she and Wanda's like, "Hey, no, I'm having nightmares or whatever." And it's like flashes of her in the house from WandaVision, with her kids that she made up. And it's so I'm happy to see that they're actually like, you have to watch WandaVision to see this necessarily, which isn't great for the general public, but like as a from a story standpoint, I'm glad that they're not just like, oh, that's a side adventure, you don't need to see it, it doesn't matter. And it's actually holding a lot of weight and a lot of meaning in the furthering the MCU. Obviously, she became the Scarlet Witch in that series, so it makes sense for them to be pushing for it a lot in this, which I'm actually really happy about. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And I'm kind of hoping. Go ahead.
You saw basically at least from my understanding, we saw like this is actually how powerful she is. Like she rewrote the universe. Yeah. Like this is, I think, in
a whole town forgotten has she really, and stuff. Like crazy stuff. Has she?
I'm trying to think, and she hasn't really been anywhere else other than this iteration of the Marvel universe, has she? Cinematic.
I don't believe so. Did I lose you? I may have lost him, folks. He is frozen and silent. Yep, I think I lost him. Sorry about this, everybody. Technical difficulties. That's what happens when internet and stuff. Attempting to get him back now. Hold on. Okay. I'm not seeing anything. Hold on, everybody. Oh, we lost him. Officially, we have lost him. Oh, is he back? Kevin, can you hear me?
Am I back yet?
You are back. We have no visual, but we have audio.
I'm gonna leave my camera off. I think my computer's not. My computer's on its last leg.
All right.
I'm gonna stick to audio.
All right. So where were we before we
I was asking about I don't think we've seen the Scarlet Witch really other than in this universe, right? Because I don't think she's been in any, I don't even think she's been hinted in the X-Men movies.
She has been actually in Days of Future Past. She was a kid. They weren't twins in it because he was a teenager and she was 10 or something like that, and she was watching the TV with him and stuff. So it's like it was hinted at, but we never actually really get to see her. which is very interesting because it's a character we've never seen cinematically before, which is nice because a lot of the characters have been rebooted I don't know how many times. So it's cool to see somebody that we haven't seen before.
Give them, and not rebooting it, you have the chance to just have one version of character really fleshed out, and I think we're seeing that more, and that I think we'll definitely see that more in the movie.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with her specifically in this, because in WandaVision, they mentioned that the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. So I don't know if they're just saying the Sorcerer Supreme in general, or if they were saying the current Sorcerer Supreme, because the current Sorcerer Supreme at the time was Wong. So, and I would definitely put her above Wong. So I don't know if they were just saying, hey, who's the Sorcerer Supreme right now? Oh, Wong. Yeah, the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than him, but I don't know if Strange is more. I would assume he'd be more of a challenge to her, probably because I think he's a little bit more clever than she is. She's more easily manipulated and all that kind of stuff. He's just a very smart individual, and he has a ton of different spells that he can use. She just does a lot of mind tricks and red magic stuff.
I think.
Go ahead.
You have the two, like I think you got it there, and and I think it was in WandaVision, like I think she's just still discovering her potential. Like she now knows just how powerful, that she is much more powerful, but she doesn't know
power, just a ton of it just like exploding from her. And then we see when at the end she gets the Darkhold, the book, and she's doing the astro projection that Doctor Strange does. So clearly we're already seeing she's learning new abilities just at the end of WandaVision. And she's reading the book as she's, just doing other stuff. So it's already like she's already demonstrating that she's a little bit more advanced than Strange is, or at least she could push herself further, because when Doctor Strange is astral projecting, he can't walk around and cook coffee or make tea or whatever she was doing in that, because she was like astral projecting, reading the book, and she was on the porch with a coffee or whatever. So she was like conscious in two places at once, whereas Doctor Strange can only sleep and then project himself. So it's very interesting to see already that she's already learning more. I
don't know if she's necessarily learning more. I think that would honestly be Strange, probably the leg up that Strange has. But I think as a basis, she's more powerful.
Yes, I think she's capable of pushing herself to do more with the spells and stuff. Like if she was, with the astral projection thing, she's able to be conscious in two spots. But I think she's reading the Darkhold, so obviously that's got a lot of information and spells and all kinds of stuff in that. But Strange also has vast libraries of information and stuff, so I think he's he may have more cards up his sleeve. And like I said before, he's super intelligent, he's a smart guy, so I think he is better equipped at deciding what spells to use, whereas she honestly comes across as a blunt instrument, where she's just like, she allows her emotions to get in a control of her really easily and just lashes out a lot of the time. And I think you can see this a little bit in this movie, where she's like, why are you living a dream and I'm living a nightmare? Or another trailer, she says to Strange that she's like, what does she say? She says, you break the rules and you get praise or whatever. I break the rules and I become a monster, or whatever I can't remember, but it's
something to that effect. But yeah, I really like that. I really like that line. I think it speaks to the manner in which they do what they do, how it speaks to it almost gave a little bit of the ends don't justify the means.
Yeah. Or I'm very curious to see what they do with this one, because have they really announced a villain? I don't know if they have. I know there's a few minor villains in it, but I'm really wondering if they're going to have Scarlet Witch become the villain, because she has been a villain classically in the comics. So I'm wondering, is she going to end up being the villain in this movie? Because that would be a crazy turn for her character. Did I lose you again? Am I just talking to the air? I did. I lost him again. Oh, is he back? Do you have audio, Kevin? Hello?
Hello?
There you are. So where did it cut off from my monologue?
No, you were fine. I could hear you all the time. I think it's just me. I think I'm coming out. I'm not getting to you. My
that's
my
weird.
device is not. Yeah,
that's weird. But
if this is happening, I might switch to my phone because I think it might be my computer. Actually, if you want to hold on a second, I'm just gonna grab my headphones and do that.
All right. Take your time. Howdy, Green Clover. I see you down there in the chat. How you doing tonight? All right. Make sure he's getting in here. So what do you... Anybody who's watching this, what do you guys think of the Doctor Strange trailer? What do you guys think could happen in this movie? Do you think Wanda may end up being the villain? Could she possibly break a rift in the multiverse? I want to know what you guys think, because I've got a lot of different theories going, and I'd like to know, some other things that, some other people might think is happening. Maybe there's another villain that's going to be in it. Is it just going to be, what's that guy's name from the first movie that he was Doctor Strange's trainer, and then at the end he turned Mordo? I think it was Mordo, something like that. So I know he's in this. He's doing his whole thing, stealing people's magic. So I want to know what you guys think. Who you think could be the villain in this movie? You got audio yet, Kevin? Hello? Nope, we lost him again, guys. I am so sorry. This is probably our best episode yet. I should retitle it "Dropping In and Out of the Internet" with Kevin and Trey. Is he back? We got no audio. You there? I heard a noise. You there? Oh man, this is gonna be so much fun when we actually get into talking about the episode. Oh man, I still have a couple other things I want to talk about with Doctor Strange, but I'll wait till Kevin gets back in here. Let's see if I can find something else here. Let's see. Oh, is he here? Can you hear me, good sir?
Hello?
Hello,
I can
awesome.
hear you. There we
Awesome.
go. Holy cow.
That is brilliant. I was just attempting to ramble and make sure there was no dead air. It wasn't great. Mostly just throwing some theories out about whether or not Wanda could be the villain, or if there's going to be somebody else that they just have not revealed to us yet.
Well, I think it was in this trailer. But the guy at the end credits scene that starts running around and stealing people's magic.
Yep, Mordo.
Because we hear him talking.
I think it's Mordo.
Yeah, Mordo, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's his name. I might be wrong.
Because he talks about, somebody else being frustrated with Strange and what he's been doing in the universe.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, I wonder if we'll have because we're in the multiverse, so are we going to have multiple antagonists?
I think we will, but there's going to be a big main one. Like, what is causing all of this? I kind of have a feeling that they're going to be pitching it as Strange did something and messed it all up, but I'm also wondering if somebody else is kind of running this and trying to throw all the blame on Strange. I'm wondering, maybe is it Wanda? Maybe is it the other Doctor Strange from What If?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it is that, because I feel like that might be too obvious and just kind of add a character for him.
Well, I mean, the Dark Doctor,
Yeah, but why would they put him in the trailer necessarily? Like, it feels
I think it's
like
gonna be
too
a drop.
obvious. Yeah,
I think everyone that's been in the trailer is not going to be it. That's my prediction. It's going to be someone at a left field of like, wait, you kind of thing.
Yeah. Gavin, I see you in the chat. GMS is the name. He asked, when is Doctor Strange coming out? It is coming out May 6th. So we've only got a few weeks away before that comes out. It's coming out the same weekend that Moon Knight ends. So I'm hoping that all of us will be able to watch the finale of Moon Knight and then also see Doctor Strange and probably have a huge Marvel episode where we talk about Doctor Strange and Moon Knight. If you guys are up for that, I think that would be a lot of fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that movie. But something else I saw in the trailer is there's a quick glimpse of Wanda standing in a doorway, kind of like this. Her eyes are glowing. She's got that red, radiant glow about her, and her hands are glowing red and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think it's the zombie Wanda from What If. I really think that it is the zombie Wanda. Like, it is. It looks creepy. I didn't freeze frame it or anything, but it looked like that. And then later on in the trailer, you see Doctor Strange, and he also looks like a zombie. I can't remember what happened to Doctor Strange in the zombie What If. Do you remember, Kevin? Oh, did I lose you again? Oh my goodness. The new Lego Star Wars review, Green Clover. Like the video game? We don't necessarily do video games. I'm planning on getting it at some point because I have bought every single Lego Star Wars game that has ever come out, and I've basically completed every single one of them. I don't know when I'll get it, but I don't think I'll do a review or talk about it in this on this channel, because this channel is more or less for movies and TV shows and stuff, hence the digital film reel title. But I definitely plan on playing that game at some point. It looks fantastic. So many options of customization and things like that. I adore Lego games. Currently, I just finished Lego DC Supervillains. That one was so much fun. Thought it was really good. And I'm working my way through Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. So I'm gonna go with those, and then eventually I think I'm gonna get onto the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. All right, I don't know when Kevin is gonna come back. I don't know if his thing's gonna quite work out or not. We may or may not be able to talk about the latest Moon Knight episode. But before we move on with Doctor Strange, I would like to talk about the runtime. I think it was initially reported that the runtime of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was going to be 148 minutes long. That is a long movie. That is one of the longest MCU movies. Not near like Endgame, but close to Infinity War and stuff. And then it was recently announced that it is going to be 2 hours and 6 minutes, I believe. So it seems like whatever Marvel and Disney did is they cut out close to half an hour out of this movie. Whether or not it's, whether or not that's good or bad, I'm not sure. I trust Marvel. I feel like they are going to do whatever they do. It's going to be a good movie.
Trey?
Yes.
Hello?
You back?
Hey. Jeez.
Yeah. I don't know what is going on over there.
I don't know, man. I had better connection in freaking Vassalboro. This is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. It might.
Do you want to give me like 5 minutes spiel of what I thought of Move Night before I go out again? I don't know.
Well, I was just talking about the runtime of Doctor Strange before we get into Moon Knight. I'm wondering if it might be on my end here. My computer might not be able to. I don't know. I'm not sure. We could go down for a couple seconds. I could put up the logo and then I can try and fix something on my end. And if that doesn't work, we could do a quick wrap of Moon Knight, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, if you can still hear me, sure.
All right, so guys, hang tight. We will be back in just a moment. Bear with us. All right, and we're back. I hope it stays this time. Hooked up a new thing for the internet. Not sure how well it's gonna work, but we're gonna try this out. Kevin, you're still here, right? I didn't lose you already.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. All right.
I
am so sorry about this, everybody.
Every little bit.
Yeah.
This is the fun of live streaming, man.
Yep.
This is the fun of live streaming.
Yep. All right. So yeah, I think. I don't know unless you have anything else to say about Doctor Strange. I'm great with moving on to Moon Knight.
No, I'm good.
All right, so let's talk about episode 2 of Moon Knight. Now, I feel like this episode it was good. It was a good episode. I think I enjoyed this one more than the first episode. But at the same time, I feel like there just wasn't a lot in this episode to necessarily need to break down. Because a lot of it felt like, they were explaining things to you as you went along, and you didn't necessarily need to know too much. You know what I'm getting
I definitely
at?
feel like this. Yeah. It was like, here's what we're doing next. Here is you got origin story for Mark. You kind of you got some back and forth, some more intrigue with his wife showing up.
Yeah. I so
and then
far
you basically
I like her character.
Oh, I think she's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be his wife. So when she said that, I was like, oh, okay, that's different, but okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't expect him to be married, and I don't think Steven expected that either. I thought that was pretty funny. I think his reaction to her, I think, was hilarious throughout the whole thing. But we also get to learn a little bit more of the villain, Ethan Hawke's character. I keep forgetting his name, Arthur. I keep forgetting it and then immediately remembering it. Arthur was the former Moon Knight, which I did not see that coming. I thought that was interesting because I was like, what is this guy's deal? What is he doing here? And he is the former Moon Knight. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, so what was the reasoning for him to leave Khonshu or whatever it was to not be his avatar anymore and then go for the what's the other deity that he serves?
The goddess of I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
The goddess of prejudgment.
Yeah, yeah. So, I actually really liked that scene, where Steven's going in and he's talking with Arthur there, because as Arthur's explaining his beliefs and stuff, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, this guy's nuts. Like, he's crazy and stuff. And I'm like, I really wish Steven would say something and be like, that's not okay. And then he does. And I thought that was hilarious, where he's like, I'm not okay with, killing kids. Are you guys all into that sort of thing?
Well, if you have a rotting limb, you would cut it off. I'm like, it's a child. I'm like, he's like taking too broad of a picture. I thought that was I like that scene, and I like how Steven continues to be the us, some of the us characteristics. Like, this is how a normal person would react in this situation.
Yeah. They're like, wait, what? You're all into this sort of thing? You guys are okay with this? It's like, and they're all like, yeah. And it's like, what is wrong with you people? Yeah. But I thought it was also really interesting that, like, when Khonshu was saying, kill him now, or whatever, he's like, he's telling you to kill me, isn't he? He's like, yeah, he is. So it's like, you could tell that he was with Khonshu for a while, so he got an idea of what he was thinking and stuff.
He knows his quick and brutal justice. It's interesting that we have like, Khonshu, as he's not like, I don't know. Like, I know that Moon Knight is kind of sort of the Batman of this, but I mean, Khonshu's like, he's not like, I understand, like, he's a voice of like, he's definitely a voice of vengeance. I don't know if it's so much injustice. Yeah. And I mean, like, I punish people for the things they have already done wrong. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but that's not so much justice as the brutally massacring people. Yeah. That's vengeance.
Yeah. But it also
is interesting.
Whether or not he is a god or not changes things slightly. Where I have a feeling that it's going to end up being he's not some sort of god. He's some sort of like alien or something, similar to how Thor and all the people from Asgard are, where they're like, oh, people of Earth viewed us as gods. Or we're not gods.
Yeah, I could see. So I could definitely see that happening.
I'm wondering if Khonshu and all the other Egyptian deities are like aliens or something like that from another universe, or if they're more spiritual beings or something like that, which we really haven't gotten into a lot of that in the MCU yet.
To some because you see that with some degree with, like, going back to Doctor Strange, but you also see that when he summons the jackal demon.
Yeah.
And it like rips a hole, like if you want to go into like, okay, fabric of space if they're aliens, but like,
yeah, it's something about other dimensions, but it's also like that, like Khonshu can't do anything really physical in this world other than make some wind blow and things like that. So he needs the avatar, like of a person in the physical plane and stuff. So I'm really very curious to see if they even explain it, because they may not even explain it at all. I'm just curious.
Which I'm fine with. I am fine with this being somewhat mystic and mysterious, and
Yeah, I am too. But I'm like, that also opens up more doors and more possibilities for the future of the MCU. Where I'm like, I'm more curious to where this is going. Like, is there, like, from Doctor Strange we get a little bit of that, but right now with the Multiverse of Madness, it's going in more of that direction, less spiritual stuff. So it's like, I don't know if they're really going to be covering all of that.
Well, you still have like this I don't know, especially with Strange, you've got like a very, very scientific approach to, okay, metaphysics, but it's still like, okay, you say, you do this act, you perform this, you say this, or you do this sort of thing, and the spell breaks down in this way, versus kind of what you have with Moon Knight. You've got, it's the will to do something. It's like, release control of the body to me so that I can take the persona of the superpowered, the superpowered suit gifted by, a god, and is that like that definitely seems more magic than science. Kind of the way Thor talked about it a little bit, but it's like there's a lot less technical stuff
it's
behind
definitely
it versus,
way more mystical than like say the magic of the Asgardians and Doctor Strange and stuff, because with Doctor Strange, like he was breaking it down in scientific terms and stuff and what things are, and even I'm pretty sure the Sorcerer Supreme, the Ancient One, was saying this in the first Doctor Strange or in Endgame. I can't remember which, but like she was talking about.
It was the first Doctor Strange. She talked about like these people have only seen the body from this side, but your monks saw it from chakras and stuff saw it from this side, and like they're parts of the same whole. I'm like, but mystics, we don't necessarily need to know everything.
Yeah,
but,
and Thor was saying that magic is just a science that we don't understand or whatever. So it's a lot of the magic and things like that in the Marvel universe is that where I feel like something might be changes slightly, maybe with Wanda. With the Darkhold, because that magic seems slightly different than like Doctor Strange magic. I don't know if they just haven't really explained much of that yet, which they may in the Doctor Strange movie. But her magic seems
sorcery versus wizardry. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he is a wizard, but he is also the Sorcerer Supreme, so it is technically sorcery. So I don't know, but she's a witch, so I don't know. Yeah, she's Scarlet Witch, so it's also a slightly different magic. So I'm like they were in WandaVision, you could see them doing rituals and stuff in the flashback sequences. So I'm really like I really want to know a little bit more about what's going on with that. But it's like with this, it's very clearly something else going on here. Whether or not go ahead.
I think you see that especially with the dog, because he is clearly impacting the world around him, but only I would think only Mark and / Steven and Arthur can see this thing.
Yeah.
So like, what's that? Because it's not like I don't know, like the Hound doesn't seem to care at all if it makes an impact in the world. It just isn't seen. So what kind of my thought along that lines was like, is this like some sort of like parallel, like you were saying, aliens, is this like some sort of parallel world that like, that's like aliens from another dimension almost.
Yeah.
That are rubbing up against this world.
That's what I'm wondering. Maybe like the dark dimension or something like that, where it's they're in a technically a different plane of existence, in a different dimension, and they can only reach so far across. That's why like Khonshu needs an avatar, so that way when he's doing stuff in this world, he can reach through and touch somebody else to do his work. And then we get Arthur, who is summoning them almost like he summoned the wolf there. So it's very interesting. I'm really curious to see if they explain it a little bit. Like I don't need them to explain every little detail, but I kind of want to know, just so we can open up more doors in the MCU and stuff. Oh, Shang-Chi. If you look at Shang-Chi, they're freaking dragons. In that there's a completely different, there's a different plane of existence through that maze, forest thing. That's a great example of another reality, but they can cross over fairly easily and stuff. To use some D&D language, I feel like that little oasis that they eventually go to would be a demi-plane, because it's like a bridge between worlds, partially put there just to guard against the soul eating, I don't know, creatures. Yeah, but also something with those soul-eating creatures, I just remembered, that's the soul-eating creature, the big dragon thing that was in that was behind the wall, was reaching out and calling to Shang-Chi's dad. So that also is another idea of this, where it's like Khonshu is like calling out and like appearing to a specific person to ground himself in this reality and stuff. I obviously think that they're going to explain things a little bit more, especially now how the episode ended with Mark waking up in Egypt and stuff. I think we're going to get a lot more. Oh yeah. So it's
miserable for good reason.
Yes. So I think we're going to be getting a lot more answers to the Egyptians. I hope they don't like explain everything away like that, like where it's like, you know, we got some tour guide walking us through a pyramid display or something, be like, and these ancient beings came through a portal and they became our gods, or what. Like, I hope it's not that, because I'm like, that's just taking all of this stuff that we're like trying to analyze and figure out and just being like, oh yeah, here's the simplest example possible.
Here's the answer on a silver platter, kind of.
And it's just like, I don't necessarily want that. I want it to remain a little bit mystical and like what is this, but I also want it to kind of open up the doors in the MCU a little bit more for the supernatural. And I definitely believe we're going to be seeing a little bit more of that, because like with the arrival of Blade, we're getting a Blade movie in the next few years, and obviously that's dealing with vampires and other dark beings and stuff. Man. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how this whole thing is shifting, because we're getting less galactic with things, because the first part of the MCU so far, the first like 10 years has been galactic stuff. That's where it's been going. That's what's happening with it all. And
you also got the third Guardians of the Galaxy now that Thor's kicking, rocking with them.
Well, he's not rocking with them anymore. I think they're gonna be at the beginning of Thor: Love and Thunder, and then he's gonna go off and do his own thing, because Thor: Love and Thunder is coming out in July. Yeah, it's coming very, very soon. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah,
we should be getting a trailer for that very soon. So within the next probably month or so. So I'm wondering what they're going to be doing with the future of the MCU, because they're obviously doing multiverse stuff. But they're also doing some more mystical stuff, like Moon Knight, Blade, Shang-Chi. But also we get the tease at the end of Shang-Chi with, they're like, his bracelets there, his rings, they're thousands and thousands of years old or whatever it is. They're
sending out like this
super old and stuff.
Freaking beacon, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, is this like something like more galactic stuff, or is this something different? And honestly, I kind of hope it's something different, but I don't know. Something else that could be a potential is, do you remember Dormammu in the first Doctor Strange movie? That was like another weird big purple guy that was in another dimension that was reaching out to like Caecilius and stuff. And gave them specific like powers and things like that in our dimension.
Was avatar of another.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Khonshu and whatever the bad guy's name is, I don't remember her name. I just can't remember. Chat, if you guys remember what the evil deity's name is in Moon Knight, let us know in the comments, because I cannot remember. So I'm very curious to see what they're gonna do with it, because I really like the exploration into this, because it's like to see like certain characters going up against something a little bit more mystical, something that's not science based. Like we've seen the Hulk beat up aliens and things like that all the time, but it's like, what would happen if the Hulk was fighting like a ghost or something like that? Like it's just it opens up
we did see that to a degree when he gets forcibly astral projected by the Ancient One.
Yeah,
Which
but that's
I
like
love
they've already said
that's a great scene.
It is, yes, but that's also like they said, like, oh, it's science based. It's just the science doesn't understand magic part of it or something. So it's like, like I want to see like a full on supernatural thing. Like we get to see him fight a Fenrir in Ragnarok, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But also that's the Asgardian magic stuff, so it's slightly non-mystical. It's a mythical, but not mystical. So I'm curious.
On that note of like science and magic, I've heard a theory that I kind of like along those lines of that the Pym particle isn't actually science; it's magic, because people who are much more into physics than I am, break down about like it just how Pym, who is supposed to be the super genius, explains like how he does this stuff. Like it doesn't work that way. You can't actually do this. So what they're saying is that through science, Pym actually discovered a magical, dipped into magic.
Yeah.
And harness like that power of whatever that universe is that you can go to when you get super small.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's actually like he actually went from science to magic.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting. I don't know if that'll ever actually get, but it's a really cool theory.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get explained, but that's a really good explanation.
That's my headcanon anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like it completely makes sense.
It fits together.
For the MCU, for them to be like, magic is just science that they haven't discovered yet, or whatever it is. Where it's an advanced science and stuff, where there's so much more to what is in the physical planes and stuff. And for Hank to possibly have tapped into that and discovered a little bit of that and figured out how to integrate that into his Pym particles, that makes a lot of sense. And it kind of covers the gaps of like this defies logic and how science actually works. So it's like that. I really like that theory. That's really good. We may get a little bit of an explanation in the next Ant-Man movie in Quantumanium. Quantumania, whatever that's called. So we might get a little bit more of that. I'm not sure. I think that's going to be the last Ant-Man movie. I might be wrong there. I mean, like, Paul Rudd's getting up there in age. I mean, he's always been up there in age. He just doesn't look like he is.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever, dude.
Yeah. So,
not you, him. It's just like, Disney hires yet another Fountain of Youth guy. Like, where do you find these people? And what are you doing with them?
I'm pretty sure that they're all into some weird cults and things like that, and that's how they're able to. They're all Scientologists. I mean, look at Tom Cruise and all of them. Like they're all super youthful for some reason. So yeah. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with that. Look at Jared Leto. Jared Leto's like 50. That guy, he does not look 50.
He does not look 50, man.
In Morbius, I was watching Morbius last week, and I was just he had a shirtless scene, and I was like, no, this is not possible. What is
CGI?
He's older than my dad, and I'm like, this is not right. This guy does not look old enough to be my father. It's so weird. So weird.
Actually, if I could bring it back to Moon Knight real quick before I forget.
Please.
Again. I thought it was interesting, this kind of with I forget her name, with Mark's wife coming in.
Layla, right?
Layla. And he's doing this protector and stuff, but then he's like, okay, initially like we're led to believe that like he's protecting her from Arthur and all this crap going on, but then we're like, no, what's the moon? Khonshu wants her to be the next Avatar, or says he wants her to be the next Avatar after Mark's debt is paid. Yeah, and I'm like, what? Why is the God of Justice freaking blackmailing his current, contracted Avatar? Like, what is happening here? Because it went from like, you were a former soldier. I say, like, in moments you go from like you were a former soldier saved you from death, saved you from oblivion or whatever, the afterlife, so that you could continue to do justice to, like, I'm paying a debt to, like, I might have already paid off my debt. I'm just continuing to work for you so you don't, ruin the life of the woman I love. I'm like, what just happened in, like, the last 5 minutes of the show?
Yeah.
It totally said it very much changed. I keep thinking this is like Dr. Fate, and I keep thinking Dormammu, because that's kind of the same
Fate, you
thing.
mean Doctor Strange?
No. Dr. Fate from the DC universe.
But Dormammu is a Doctor Strange dude.
Oh no, wait. Oh,
you're getting things confused there.
Yeah,
Frickin' DC and Marvel ripping off each other, and everything's confusing all the time.
Naboo, that's what it is.
Yes, Naboo, yes.
Those names are too similar. Naboo.
Yep. Yes,
the true Dr. Fate from the Lord of Order.
Yep.
And I'm like, Lord of Order, God of Justice, taking over an avatar. Like,
it's very much,
guys.
It's very similar. Yeah, it's. I mean, when you have like millions of different characters, obviously there's going to be like tons of overlap. But I mean, DC does have a lot of like just really out there people. I mean, they have Condiment King, who shoots ketchup and mustard at people.
Well, no, the other thing is like, if you look at a lot of the symbology of Naboo, it's Egyptian too, and I'm like, who did this first? Who's ripping off who here?
I'm pretty sure Dr. Fate is older. I can check if you want to keep bringing up that thought. Let's see.
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't want dead air while I'm looking up.
No. Go ahead. Like, I was trying to think of something else to say, but yeah, I think because to me it's like, they kind of split the difference between Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate, and then you have Moon Knight, which is like, they kind of cross Batman, like the wealthy snob. Okay, that's Strange. And then you've got the fists of justice. That's Moon Knight with the Avatar. That's Dormammu or Naboo. And then you've got all these magical abilities, which went mostly to Doctor Strange, and then you have like just super strengths when Mark's wearing the suit.
Yeah.
Steve
Steven with a V.
Steven. All right, Steven.
So I just looked up. So Moon Knight first debuted in 1975. Dr. Fate first debuted in 1940. So I think Marvel clearly was taking a few liberties there.
Yeah.
That also makes me wonder when Doctor Strange became a character, because Dr. Fate's been around for how long has it been now? 82 years? That's insane.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah, because that's crazy. Okay, no, I don't want the new Doctor Strange movie. Oh, that's a bad time to look up Doctor Strange, is when the movie's coming out.
Yeah.
First appearance. All right. Let's see. First appearance, July 1967. So clearly, Marvel has ripped DC off yet again.
well, DC had the opportunity to buy Marvel in like the 80s. Whoops.
Yep. Or was it the other way around?
No, I think it was because DC is old. DC is older than Marvel.
Yes, it is. But I'm pretty sure DC was going under at some point. I thought it was you're right.
Much more recently.
Yeah, Marvel was going under at some point, and DC had the opportunity to. That could have been crazy, but I'm glad they didn't, because I like the competition between the two.
Well, it's kind of you got some fun things like stuff like this, but then you have, I think, characters that came out like right next to each other. What was it? Not Deadpool and Slade. It was.
They're very similar, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh no! I think it was. What's the guy that you like? There's a guy with the skull. Can't remember his name.
Punisher.
Punisher and Slade. You know, it's like, you know, those.
There's a lot of differences there. Not necessarily.
Okay, I'm not. Maybe I'm not thinking of the right. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of the right person.
Yeah.
There's been a few. There's been a few of them that are like they basically are just.
I mean, Namor and Aquaman, very very similar characters. Yeah, there's a lot that are very like, oh, this is the same character here. Like Marvel's obviously
Marvel.
Captain Marvel. That's his
DC
name,
Comics.
but yeah. I mean, it's still technically called Captain Marvel, but then Marvel was like, you can't say Marvel in your thing, so we're taking it back and we're naming our character Captain Marvel, and then it just eventually changed to Marvel. So and now Shazam is too scared to say Captain Marvel, and now they just call it Shazam. It's sad.
Yeah.
Oh well. We are really getting off track here talking about this episode.
Yeah. Oh, there was. I mean, like you said, like initially, like it was, you know, the bad guys came to Steven's place. Steven went and had the chat of like, no, you guys are nuts.
Yeah.
Let's go to this room full of mummies.
Yeah.
Fight a jackal, have a discussion, and the show's over.
Yeah. All of it was enjoyable and it was really good.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more straightforward.
Definitely not as
the first episode. The first episode,
definitely.
We had so many questions. This, like I expected there to be answers for a lot of the questions in the first episode, but I also expected there to be a lot of questions like asked in this and like leave us with like, what's going on now? What's this? What's that? But it's mostly like like the things that we're discussing right now are like, what is Khonshu? What is this deity? Is he an alien from another planet? Like, instead of talking about the actual beats of the show, we're talking about like the theories on like what plane of existence are these creatures from. So it's like, it's a great episode, but I don't know. I felt like it was pretty simple. Like, there was a lot to like in it. I liked a lot of the dialogue honestly, that Mark and Steven had with each other. I thought there was a lot of good stuff in that. And then his
character
meeting
building.
Layla. Yeah. So it's just like a lot
character
of generally good stuff. Like, it was just a lot of good stuff, but not necessarily a lot of discussions.
Questions, yeah.
Yes,
character development-wise, I think it was a good episode. I thought it was a really... honestly, the 4 characters, I think they did a pretty darn good job. Or 5. I don't think really they developed Arthur much more. I think we just got some answers of why you are the way you are.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be doing much developing. I think he has done he's done his developing because he was the Moon Knight, and now he has developed into this character that's premature justice guy or whatever. Something I did just remember that we did get in this episode was we got the we got the first appearance of, I believe the technical character name for Steven's Moon Knight suit is Mr. Knight. I loved that. That was hilarious.
Yes.
Like, summon the suit, and he summons the suit, and it's like
he summons a suit. I'm like, no, the ceremonial suit of the Moon Knight, gifted by, and he's like, no, but I think this looks pretty good, you know. Yeah. And he does like the old school British, the old school British boxing, and like, well, go.
That was hilarious.
The sticks, like, I'm like, oh, he's actually kind of nice.
He's so good. Yeah,
that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope that Steven gets a little bit more action in that, because we got to see, because he gave it a good shot. Like, he tried fighting the thing. I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing his kind of hero journey type thing, where he's obviously super reluctant to this at first, and I think he's gonna grow to be like, okay, we're doing this, and because we see him, he's got superpowers. He grabbed the bumper right off that car and like was crushing it, and tried to fight the werewolf. What do they call it again? It wasn't the werewolf.
They're saying it. I would just say it's a jackal of Anubis or something, because
that jackal. That's what they were referring to it as.
Yeah, I mean it is a jackal, but was looking the other day. There is a name for the beast, the man shaped jackal from Egyptian mythology, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
It's kind of obscure.
Yeah.
I found it a while ago, but I can't. I'm tracking it down.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if we're gonna be seeing Steven really kind of become that superhero along with Mark doing that as well. So I'm curious. Yeah. I'm curious to see where they're going with it, because I'm like, what are their journeys going to be? I don't know. Very, very, very curious. Maybe it's going to end on a cliffhanger and Layla ends up becoming the Moon Knight, and they're like, oh crap, now we got to save her. I don't know. I'm very curious, and I also want to know if there are more personalities in there, or if it's just Mark and Steven.
Yeah, because he says he's done this. Because he says he's done this before. I don't know if that's referring to Steve fighting off Steven for a while, or if he's like, everyone, every so often, like a different personality.
Yeah,
comes up.
I think Khonshu says to him, "Oh, go ahead."
My concern with this is, and Addie actually brought this up. My wife, for listeners who don't know, my wife.
Yeah, she does the artwork for our show. Actually, she did Kevin's little character there, and then all the characters in our logo. She does awesome work. But you were saying,
because she had mentioned kind of like a lot of people's negative response to Split, with a similar thing there. I mean, it was much more extreme as far as multiple personality or the multiple personality disorder. My concern is if they dip into that too deeply, they're going to start, wrong, not doing it, playing it more as like either comical or belittling. And I'm like, I don't know if I want them to go that route. Because, if you have personalities just kind of come and go and you toss them aside and make light of because just Hollywood has done it before, and it is a very serious condition. That's just like my one concern.
Yeah. Have you seen Doom Patrol at all?
No.
Okay. Well, there's a character in Doom Patrol that has multiple personalities, and each personality has a different superpower. So it's very interesting. But they have a different thing. So it's like there's this thing called the Underground, and it's basically where all the personalities go. So they're all conscious all the time at the same time, but they're in a different place, and then only one of them goes to be in the physical body. So it's very interesting because they're all like different people and things like that.
Right.
But I'm wondering if like I feel like they may or may not introduce more personalities later on in the show, but it's a 6-episode season, so it's, I don't know, I feel like there may not be enough time, or unless Mark.
And honestly, the one man talking in the mirror, Jekyll and Hyde thing, honestly works.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm thinking.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, like that's what I think it works the way it is right now, where it's it's like that. But also, Mark mentions to Steven that he said that you always kept like under wraps, or you always kept to yourself, so I tried to leave you alone, or something along those lines. So I'm wondering if Mark knows that there are multiple people in there, so he deals with them all in different ways. On that note, I don't know. I think at least in that sense, he was just referring to Steven, because Steven doesn't have like week-long blackouts, Yeah, that is true.
I mean, the only thing that I can think of is like, for a while, Mark and his wife were together without any problems, and then Steven, comes around, however, and then he, for whatever reason, months ago.
Well, I'm wondering
Steven
if
is just in.
Yeah, I wonder if Steven just like became a personality because of whatever happened to Mark, or some sort of trauma and stuff. So he emerged because, like Layla said, I haven't heard from you in like 2 months.
Yeah.
and Mark's Americans and she's American. I think she's American, right?
She's American.
Her accent, she was British at one point, and I don't know if she was just doing that because of where they were. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was throwing me off there for a bit. So I'm like, I can only assume that they live in the U.S. And obviously Steven never lived in the U.S., so I'm wondering if this is only a recent thing where he's only done this for a couple months. And Khonshu says at one point, he told Mark, he's like, you said that this wouldn't be a problem, but it is, or something like that. So if it's only been a couple months, how long has Mark been the Moon Knight? And have there been other personalities before Steven? I'm not sure. It's very interesting.
Or the whole... I wonder if maybe we're looking at the timeline because they said his wife was talking about their time being away from me, they were already hunting this and maybe they came across I wonder if that's we're not going with the original origin story so much. If we're going to see that the time he's only been the Moon Knight for a short period of time.
Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it doesn't because she knows that he's the Moon Knight, so there was a period when I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure that Mark died at some point. I'm pretty sure they said that, right?
Yeah, they said that in the episode. You were a corpse when I found you.
Yeah,
so you're okay, that happened.
Yeah, so he was saved basically when he was dead. He was completely dead or whatever, and that's when Khonshu was like, yo, you seem good enough. And I wonder if that's what spawned the multiple personalities. His death and then resurrection? That could have been it.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Or if this is something he's dealt with his whole life. I'm not sure.
I know
because Layla doesn't seem to have any knowledge of the multiple personalities.
That's true. Huh,
if they were married and he had that his whole life, I'm pretty sure that would come up at some point.
Yeah. That's a good point.
That's a good point. Like you said, I wonder if this is a recent thing.
Yeah.
So.
Oops, excuse me. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure. I'm wondering if this is a recent thing, and then at the end of the show, they're either one of them is gonna blink away into non-existence, or if they're just going to have to learn to live with each other. And I'm wondering if it's going to be more of that. If they survive this with this show, I really don't know if they will. Who knows? It may end with an awful note where it's the bad guy wins or something, and then Layla becomes the Moon Knight and stuff because Steven and Mark died. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm very curious to see where this goes because it's a good show. I really am enjoying it. I'm liking it too. I don't think it's the best Marvel show. I just watched a little trailer for Moon Knight, and it said that people are saying it's the best Marvel show yet. I don't think it is. I still think Loki is better.
Yeah.
I
definitely got away from what.
You what?
It was multiverse stuff was just too much for me at that point. I needed a break.
Yeah,
I haven't finished it
I liked Loki because it felt like Doctor Who almost, and I'm a huge Doctor Who fan and stuff, and it was a lot of fun.
I know. I can only do Doctor Who in pieces.
I just recently binged a couple of the seasons, after.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, right after the baby was born. We were stuck at home for a bit, so. What are you going to do when you can't go to sleep because the baby is, screaming? You just watch Doctor Who. So yeah, I liked Loki for that reason, and just, Tom Hiddleston, you can't go wrong with Tom Hiddleston. So it was just so good. And then I think WandaVision is just a really solid show. And then I'd probably put this. I haven't seen Hawkeye yet, but
it is really good.
Yeah, I want to watch it at some point, but been waiting.
It's a normal. It's just it's.
It doesn't deal with
nothing.
Supernatural,
There's nothing magical.
Yeah.
It's just a kid and a dude with a bow and arrow fighting crime. I'm like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Like this is like compared to some things, this is just chill. Like they're street races and shootouts, and it's just like, but this for whatever reason, this is relaxing compared to some Marvel stuff, like the Hulk arena scene. It's just like so much.
Wait, it's crazy that they're happening in the same universe too, because it's like
I know
there's that happening out in outer space somewhere, and then there's a guy with a bow and arrow. Like Hawkeye has a line in Age of Ultron where he's like, "The city is flying, and I have a bow and arrow." None of this makes sense. I love it so much.
Yeah. That's the same thing, because he's kind of the same deal as, I think that's one of the things I liked about Hawkeye a lot, because it's the same thing with Steven. It's like, you're the normal guy amongst, demigods and super geniuses and aliens. It's like I'm a guy with a bow and arrow, and I am keeping pace.
Yeah. And there's Steven. I work in a gift shop. Steven of gift shop. Yeah. So there's something about that character that's just very intriguing to me, because he's just very relatable in that sense, where he is the normal guy, and I really like it.
He is so normal, and it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun to see him just thrown into this. And I also like that they're not slamming you over the head with references to other stuff that's happening in the universe at the time.
That's a good, that's true too. Yeah,
because I feel like they would try to shove it in your face all the time. Hey, it's in the MCU. He looks over at the TV and there's a Hulk ad or something, or like in the gift shop, instead of selling, Egyptian stuff, it's here's Avengers toys or something. Like, instead of making jokes about that kind of stuff, like, it's literally like, if you like, without watching anything else from the MCU, just watch the show, you'll be fine. And I really like that. Cool. Where it's like definitely. WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Loki, obviously What If, and Hawkeye. Like, you can't not watch the rest of the stuff without that. With this, you just jump right in. It's an enjoyable show. So,
without doing much spoilers, honestly, if besides some of the setup and some of the background, I feel like you could honestly watch, and maybe this would be something you get your opinion on when you see it. I honestly feel like you could watch Hawkeye and not miss out on very much. Not seeing you miss some backstory and why this character is this and that.
Yeah, I know a little bit at the beginning, the girl character, Kate Bishop, I believe is her name, right? Yeah. Kate Bishop's whole reason is because of the events of the first Avengers movie.
But they show it. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying, is there's not a lot of behind the scenes knowledge that you have to know What If.
Is it more you're following her story?
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
The way they do it, I think they did it really well, in my opinion. So.
Man, I'm really excited to watch it. I've been showing my little sister all of the MCU stuff, and we haven't gotten past Loki yet. So, we moved, we had a baby, so we haven't been able to catch up and stuff in time, and we've been postponing watching Loki and Hawkeye. So I think we're gonna try to be doing that. I think we're actually doing Loki tonight, so that's exciting. So we're gonna be trying to get caught up for Doctor Strange and all that stuff. So I'm excited. I'm excited to watch Hawkeye and see what all the hype is about, because I heard a lot of people liked it. You also need to watch Daredevil at some point.
Oh yes, that's high up on my list now.
You definitely need to, because it's I don't know if it's necessarily going to be connected to any of this stuff. Because, now that Disney has it and stuff, they can kind of do whatever they want. And they may end up being like, you can watch the other show, but it's disconnected. That's not technically canon or whatever. Lots of this around it. But I know Charlie Cox loves the Daredevil series, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be just jumping off close to where that series ended and stuff. And it works really well as a technical ending and stuff for the show, even though when they did it, they didn't know it was going to be canceled. So, I think, you definitely want to you're definitely gonna want to watch it and stuff. I can't recommend the other shows that are connected to it because they're really hit or miss. Jessica Jones is fantastic. The first half of the first season of Luke Cage is really good, and I never went and watched the second season because I didn't care for how it ended. I heard the second season's good though. I just didn't get around to watching it. And then Iron Fist is, well.
Watch it at my own peril.
Yes. First season is really rough, and I've watched it twice. I don't know why I watched it when it came out, and then I rewatched it with my wife. I actually liked it a little bit more the second time, but it was still hard to get through. And then season 2 is only 10 episodes instead of 13. And it's a lot better. It's a lot more fun. But then it ends on a massive cliffhanger, and then it got canceled like immediately. So it's just like, what? This is ridiculous. So, oh well. But Daredevil and Punisher, I definitely worth watching. Yeah. So you'll need to watch Daredevil seasons 1 and then 2, and then watch The Defenders, which is essentially the Avengers of those shows, where it brings them all together.
Oh yeah, I know those guys. Yeah,
and you don't need to watch all the other shows to watch.
Higher.
Yeah, really, it's all that stuff there. So you don't necessarily need to watch all the other shows to watch The Defenders. Just how the Avengers worked is you didn't need to watch all the other movies. You could literally jump in at the Avengers because they did it well enough, and they introduced everybody to each other in that show. So I'd recommend watching seasons 1 and 2 of Daredevil, then The Defenders, and then season 3 of Daredevil. And then if you don't want to watch anything else, you don't have to. Although I do recommend Punisher. Massive fan of Punisher.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've watched that series multiple times. I love it so much. Oh man! All right, I'm gonna stop rambling now. We've actually gone a little while. I thought we were gonna have a shorter one, but nope. I got talking. We didn't talk too much about the episode, but we did talk about a lot of stuff. So thank you all for watching. It's been fun. Even though the Wi-Fi was dropping out here and there, I think it definitely helped me fixing this thing on my end. I think that may have solved the issue, so I'll have to remember to do that every time now. So thank you all for watching. If there's anything you guys want to drop in the comment section, any questions and stuff like that, we can take some questions. If not tonight, maybe for next week, if you guys have any comments about the show, about the podcast, or about Moon Knight or other trailers, movies, all kinds of stuff like that. If you guys want to drop that in the comment section, go right ahead. That would be awesome. Kevin, is there anything else not you guys. There's only one of you guys today.
There's only one of me.
Yeah, there's only one of you today. So is there anything else you wanna say? Is there anything you're planning on watching this week or something like that? If you want to talk about it next week or something like that. Anything you're planning on watching?
Nothing on the books right now.
Nothing on the books right now. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I think that's about it.
I'm all set.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. But if you vote for me, all your wildest dreams will come true. So yeah, you guys, if you want to hit the like button, if you enjoyed this somewhat discombobulated episode,
share. Yeah. Technical issues. It's the life.
Yeah, that's what I should title
feed
this
those
episode.
Algorithms.
Yeah, I should title this episode "Technical Issues." No, but so yeah, so you guys
timestamp here and here and here. And here.
Yeah, it's literally just all the way through until the end, and then it's pretty good. So yeah, share this video, like Kevin said. I think you said that. I don't know. Share the video. Share the podcast and the channel. It really will help a lot. I don't know who would want to watch this, but some people do.
You guys chatting. It can be fun.
Yep. So you guys share the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way YouTube will notify you guys every time we go live and every time we put up a video. I'm going to be doing a review for Fantastic Beasts The Secrets of Dumbledore, because that comes out next weekend, so that's going to be coming out probably on Friday. So look forward to that. I'm really nervous about that movie because the last one was garbage. First one was all right. Second one was complete garbage. So I'm very curious to see what they do with this next one. I don't know. And yeah, if you guys, I think that's it. There's nothing else YouTube wants you guys to do, right? I don't know. No. Comment, share, like, subscribe, notification bell. I think that's it.
That's all she wrote, man.
Yeah. Is there anywhere you want them to follow you, Kevin?
Yeah. The voice number 4, the radio on TikTok. Just did a couple new skits. If you want some silly D&D memes and nonsense like that, follow me there.
Awesome. Cool. And you guys can follow me on Instagram at Digital Film Reel and on Twitter. I never post to Twitter because I always forget it exists and I don't really like the platform. But I have it, so it's there.
Follow for no real reason.
Yes. Yeah, so there you go. I tried to post on Instagram, but I
think you do there a lot more often.
Yeah. Yeah. Somewhat. I post a couple times a week, maybe. Sometimes once a week. But
yeah, it's better than me.
Well, if you guys want to do any of that, you could do it if you want to. I don't care. All right.
Yeah,
well,
wrap it up.
Yeah, yes, I'm trying. I'm just bad at it. I'm bad at this. I'm tired. I am so tired. All right, you guys.
Newborn man. Man.
Newborn, 4 hours of sleep every night. Doing good. All right. You guys have a great night, and au revoir.
Adios.